Your Comedy Minute. I'm Scotty T. I have a very funny young man named Justin Roddy Rademacher with me. Did I do that right, Roddy?
That is correct. It is Justin Roddy Rademacher here.
Okay, Naughty Roddy.
Naughty Roddy. Yep. But whenever I do anything a little risque, I just call them my Naughty Roddy jokes.
Okay, and let's start. You live in Minnesota.
Yep. Yep. I'm in the Duluth area.
Were you born and raised in Minnesota?
I was born and raised in Minnesota. I was
Okay.
actually down in like the cities area for most of my life. I just moved up here about 2019 is when I moved up to the
Okay.
Duluth area.
Uh, and I hate to ask just because I'm a huge football fan. Are you a Vikings fan?
I'm actually a Los Angeles Rams fan, if you can
Okay.
believe it. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Roddy, when did you start doing comedy?
So I started doing comedy regularly about 2.5 years ago here in the Twin Ports, part of the Twin Ports comedy here. Um,
Okay.
I've been writing since 2010. I did a little bit of comedy in the cities starting 2017. But I like to say that I started about 2.5 years ago because that's when I started doing it pretty regularly. So
Okay. And the next question, if you watched any of these, was there a catalyst that made you start doing comedy 2.5 years ago?
yeah, so actually my good buddy that I do my podcast with,
You
Justin
can you
Van
can you can
Venter.
mention him, and I know the name of the podcast, but it's the Stupidest Podcast, right?
That is correct. The Stupidest
Okay.
Podcast.
And
My buddy that
who's your buddy?
Yeah, my buddy Justin Van Deventer. I do the podcast with him,
Well, now
and
how in the
he.
hell am I going to say that name? Say it again slower. Justin Vander, whatever. I'm
You
dumb as
pronounce.
shit, man. I'm dumb as shit. You got to go slow.
So it's
Not to mention,
Justin.
not to mention, Roddy, I'm 62 years old. Did you watch the debate last night?
I did not. No, I did not.
I'm just fucking with you. Go ahead. Tell
Uh,
me your buddy's name again, but go a little slower.
I'll go very slow for
Yeah,
you. So
yeah.
it's
Pretend I'm from
it.
Texas. Pretend I'm from Texas. Go
So
ahead.
it's Justin, same as me.
Okay.
Justin Van D Venter.
Vandy Venter. Vandy
Yep.
Venter. Okay. So now 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, whatever, Justin,
Yep.
take it from there.
Yeah, so 2.5 years ago, he came up to the Duluth area just to come visit. We were doing a podcast,
Okay.
and he's like, "Actually, before we do the podcast, why don't we like go play some darts, maybe have some drinks or whatever?" And I'm like,
Okay.
"Yeah, let's do it." And we knew that there was an open mic comedy night that night, and I hadn't performed in probably 8 months at that point, anywhere. So he's like, "Dude, why don't you just sign up, see how it goes, and
Right.
do that?" And so I did, and they it seemed to go well, and they actually invited me to do a one-liner contest in the area. And Frankie Runquist, who was running that, she came up to me after the show and she's like, "Hey, we'd love to have you on this. Like, you did a great job. We'd love to keep having you in the scene." And so I'm just like, "Yeah, for sure." Like, I just
Okay.
started doing it every week ever since. So
A one-liner contest. I think you should do a few.
yeah, I well, that's all I do actually. I have a
Go
ton
ahead.
of
Have at it.
one-liners.
Go at
So
it. We'll go back and forth for a bit.
yeah, for sure. So I'll start by saying my buddy, he has a big penis, and I mean I haven't seen it,
Right.
but it tastes big, so I figured.
Okay. Keep going. Keep going.
So my friend, she
I,
told me.
I got bad taste. That one leave a bad
It's a-
taste. That one left a bad taste in my mouth. Go ahead. That's like
so
when
my
you're eating
friend.
ass. I got eating ass jokes, but they leave a bad taste in my mouth too.
Oh, of course, that's what they're meant for. Uh,
I'm sorry. I'm supposed to keep this clean.
no, that's fine. We can. I'm doing some of my naughty roddies for you.
Okay,
So
good. Because I can tell people your email address. I think that's pretty good.
yeah, if you want to, you can give them my email address. That's
Go ahead
fine.
and tell them. Go ahead and tell them because it's
Yeah.
it's like a play on words there or a play on numbers.
Oh yeah, no, I it's just Roddy dot mostly clean comedy dot 69
Right.
at gmail.com.
Okay.
So
Mostly clean comedy. Okay, keep going. We got
yeah, so
your buddy with the big dick. That one again.
Yep. So I got that one. My other friend, she said that she didn't think I could write a joke about queefs.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, that's it. That's it for that one.
All right. No, I got it.
Yep. So
I actually saw it. I gotta say,
you
because
saw it.
I saw I went over to your TikTok and I'm gonna touch on that in a minute.
Yeah.
And I love the one where I guess it's like a joke battle
Yeah. Yep.
with a female, and she says that she can masturbate without using her hands.
Yes, that is Frankie Runquist, the one that wanted me to be a part of the one-liner contest.
Right. And you want to tell the people what you said?
Yeah, so she said that she can masturbate without using her hands, which it makes sense. Like, I mean, I wouldn't want to touch that pussy either,
I can't. How did she without her hands? There's got to be someone else involved.
I don't know if she just got like.
She just think about having an orgasm and.
Yeah, she just sits there.
What does she use her feet? What does she use her feet? Jesus God. Well, since I touched on it, I'll bring it up.
Yeah.
I saw on TikTok you posted a new joke almost every day.
Yes. Yep.
Was that for like a whole year, or how long did you do that?
So I started it this year. I started January 1st of 2024, and I've actually posted a joke or a video every single day on TikTok. I call it Roddy's joke of the day every other day ish. Just so I didn't have to do it every day, just in case I got lazy a day or two. But no, I've done every single day. Some of them are clean, some of them are obviously like more naughty Roddy, but yeah, no, I've been posting regularly on that. So
do you know who else does that? Do you know who else does that? Your sound dropped out, buddy. Your sound dropped out. Your sound is gone. No, your sound is out. I can edit it out. Don't worry about it. I can edit it out, but your sound is gone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Oh, okay, perfect. Sorry, I got muted for a second.
That's all right. Well, I can edit that out. All I was saying was, do you know who else does? You were saying, you were telling me that you've done a joke every day since the beginning of the year on TikTok. Yep. And I asked you, do you know who else does that?
No, who else does that?
I do.
Oh, nice. No, I didn't.
But hold on. Pump the brakes. I had a guy on the show, Pirate Stew's dad jokes and more.
Okay.
Pirate Stew has done a joke of the day every day for, I want to say, 7 or 8 years now.
Wow.
And he's up to like, it's I don't know how many, it's 7 or 8. It's Pirate Stew's dad joke 2,341, and he runs the number. And I just wanted to tell you this because I think it's funny.
Yeah.
He actually contacted the Guinness Book of World Records.
Okay.
To see if he could.
Yeah.
He spent the money and he got nothing.
Oh no.
They told him that I don't think they keep a record like that or something. But he still keeps doing it.
Well, I mean, I
keep it up. You got 7.5 years to go, and you can pass Pirates still.
Well, I have a lot of jokes. I don't know if I have 7 or 8 years worth of jokes, but I mean, I'm going to keep writing. So maybe we'll see.
I have about 5,000 videos up, and I'm going to be honest with you. I started to go back because my brother said to me, I think you should go back and you know what's really funny. And I don't want to take too long on this, but like you're on TikTok, if you're on Instagram, if you're on YouTube, a joke on YouTube will maybe do 1,000 or something. Meanwhile, over on Instagram, it's at 19,000, 20,000, 30,000. And I've had some at 300,000 over there, and it's like, meanwhile on YouTube, it's 1,000.
Wow!
So I'm actually going back now. I actually just started doing this last week, going all the way back to my first shorts that I did on YouTube, and looking at them and going, that joke did terrible, but that doesn't mean it's a bad joke.
Exactly. No, I have a few like that actually myself.
Yeah. Does it piss you off?
Yes, it does. I'm like, this is a great joke.
Go
Why
ahead,
is
go
this
ahead.
not getting...
Give me one that really pissed you off that you thought comedy gold and you did it and it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so one of them, I thought it was amazing. And it was just because of like the crowd reaction. I had one of my friends like he was like kind of razzing me a little bit. So
Right.
I said, I just recently started selling fried chicken,
Okay.
and I sell it by the bucket. And so I had a couple people laughing, and he literally said, he's like, "Don't laugh at that." So I was like, "Hey, dude, like if you don't like that joke, you can fuck off."
I like both of them.
I know they're
I
great. And
like both of them.
I got like 15 views on that video. It's ridiculous. I thought
Yeah.
it deserved.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
breaks your heart, doesn't it?
yeah. I
You
might
know,
have
it's
to like
funny too.
repost it or something.
You mentioned the one-liner contest or whatever you were in.
Yep.
And it's funny, this happened just last night. And I hate when I talk too much, but I wanted to share it with you. I did a joke the other day about I tried to get a job at a boomerang factory, but they never got back to me. And a buddy of mine, Crispy Ducky, I'm going to pay him his props. Last night he commented, he's like, I haven't seen your videos for a long time. And he wrote, and I thought, man, his joke was better than mine. He wrote, they probably didn't hire you because they knew you would never come back.
Oh, there you go. I like
I
both
thought
of
that
those.
was great. I
Both.
said, damn, his joke's better than mine.
Yeah, no, I like both of those.
Yeah, I do too. I think I'll do the second one tomorrow or something. Well,
Yeah.
let's talk about the podcast a little bit. You say you've been doing that now for a couple of years.
Yeah, we've been doing it for about 3 years now. We release
Okay.
an episode every other Monday, and
Okay.
so we got like a bunch of different varieties of episodes that we have. So we have like guest episodes where we have comedians or random people. Like we've had
Right.
Justin Van D Venters, Dad.
I got it.
I got
I got it. Go ahead.
But so we had his dad on, and he used to be a welder on like these ships, like rocket
Okay.
ships, and he had 25 miles of perfect welds. So we wanted to talk to him about that, and just we want to talk about random stuff and like
Yeah.
stupid stuff, but we want to like become like the smartest podcast or whatever. So we're
What
trying to
the-
get people on that can maybe help us out a bit.
But you want to be the smartest podcast, but you call it the stupidest podcast.
Well, that's where we're at right now. We're
Okay,
starting with the
you may
stupidest.
switch the name as it starts getting smarter.
Yeah, it's gonna
Okay.
be a while. It's gonna be
Yeah, well, and you know what? I can't come on. I can't. If you're shooting to get the smartest, I'm not your guy.
but
If you want to
but
keep
right
going
now,
down that stupid path, man, I'm your guy. I can come right
Yeah.
on.
well, right now you're on brand right now, so we could have you on now. We just won't have you on in the future.
What do you mean? No way. I'm not. Hey, wait a minute, officer. Don't put the handcuffs on me. Put them on her, and I'll share her with you.
But
Or do you have favorite comedians that like inspired you to start doing comedy? However long ago, or when you were growing up, did you have comedians that inspired you?
oh yes, for sure. Brian Regan is probably my number one
Is
favorite
it
comedian
okay?
of all time. He's amazing. Obviously, I do a lot of one-liners, so like Mitch Hedberg, Stephen Wright. Those
Yeah.
have been huge inspirations.
I met
Dimitri,
Stephen Wright. I met Stephen Wright.
I'm
I met
so
Rodney
jealous.
Dangerfield. Talk about one-liners.
That's
Yeah.
Rodney. Yep,
I had a
Rodney
conversation
Dangerfield
with
is
George
amazing.
Carlin. I met a lot of great comedians. Louis.
Oh,
Go ahead, keep going. Now,
I'm
so Brian Regan and Mitch Hedberg and Stephen Wright. Keep going. Any other comedians you want to mention?
yeah. Dimitri Martin.
Yeah. Okay.
He's always amazing. I love Maria Bamford. She's actually from the
I was going to
Duluth
say, are
area.
there comedians now that you like that you want to mention?
Yes, Maria Bamford. We actually have two comedians up in this area that
Hey, do me a favor. Try and get Maria on the show. Talk to her for me.
If I got
Put in a
any,
good word for me. See what you can
for
do.
sure.
Talk
I'll
to
do
her.
my best.
Tell her I'll behave. Tell her I'll keep my hands to myself.
Well, it's through Zoom, so hopefully you're able to.
Well, you never know. A guy like me, I get to reach around.
That's awesome.
How
But
about I always like this, and it's a two-parter.
okay.
You have a best show, a favorite show, and then of course a least favorite show.
Oh, for sure. Um,
Okay, start with the best because I know the least is where the comedy is.
okay, yeah, for sure. So the best show I've ever done, it's got to be. I recently went to LA and I got to
Okay,
perform in LA, which was amazing.
yeah,
I performed with Dat Fan.
yeah,
So that
I
was
saw that video.
yeah, so that was probably like the pinnacle so far. Just being
Okay,
able to perform with him. I did 3 shows while I was there, and it was just amazing each show. He's so nice, so welcoming, and everything. So that was really fun.
and your
Um,
performance, you felt like your performance was on point.
yeah, yep, my performance was on point. I
Yeah,
mean, there was a
good.
couple jokes that I could have maybe switched, maybe
Yeah,
made
yeah,
it a
yeah.
little bit,
That's
yeah.
always
But
that's always
yeah, you're gonna find that with any show you do.
sure.
But especially like if you do one-liners and you have one that doesn't work, you're like, I literally could have had like 4 more that could have replaced that. But
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, as for like my worst show,
Yeah,
it's
baby.
probably
Here we go. Here we go,
yeah,
kids.
it's probably when I did a comedy contest. It was at the Mall of America, and it
Yeah.
was at the House of Comedy there. And because of that show, I didn't do comedy for 8 months after that because of
I heard
how
that recently. Somebody
bad.
told me that. Really? Well, give me the
Yeah.
highlights of what happened.
Yeah, so well, it was a contest, and I was like still freshly into comedy. It was about 2017 or so,
Okay.
when I entered that contest. So I was brand new into actually performing,
All
and so
right.
I didn't understand that like I could use the same material throughout the entire like contest, and I could just tweak it and make it better. So I used all of the material that I was like, oh, okay, well, I want to save my best stuff for like the second and third round. So I didn't do any of my like quote unquote good jokes that set. So I did all clean comedy, and they were all terrible. And I was like, well, they're maybe good enough to like get me to that next round. And no, they were not. I bombed the worst I've ever bombed. Didn't get on stage for 8 months because of it. And I even had one of the judges, because they had 3 judges there, and one of the judges like, man, and they like he was like trying to be nice about it. He's like, man, you got like veins, like ice cold veins. Like you just stood up there, you didn't get any laughs, but you just kept going. I was like, oh, whatever. And
For a fat girl, you don't sweat much. I'm sorry. I'm
no,
sorry.
no, that's
No,
good.
I had a guy on because that's what happens. I did a lot of drugs. I still do a lot of drugs and a lot of drinking. I got a funny little drinking problem. But
Okay.
people start talking and I start thinking of stuff. And I had Zahan Karsigara on, and he was talking about Mark Trinidad, who was on. I sent you his video before we started.
Yeah. Yep.
And he said he went, and it was one of his first shows. And Mark said to him, well, you're not the worst comedian I've ever seen. And that was enough, believe it or not, to fuel Mark on or fuel Zahn on, but I also have had what you said that, I had people say that they went up and they just bombed and they didn't do it for, a couple years or longer.
Yeah. No, it was crazy because like, and then another judge after that guy was like trying to be nice or whatever. He's
Yeah.
like basically just right to the point. He's like, I would have rather stuck a pen in my ear than listen to more of your comedy. So that that didn't feel great.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, go ahead, do a couple more. I want you to do a couple more. Do some of your
Yeah.
favorites.
Yeah, so my girlfriend and I, we haven't had sex in over a month now.
What?
Um I know, which is weird because we usually have sex like every day. It's almost like her sex drive died when she did.
Okay. Yeah.
I like that
Well,
one.
yeah, I do
Um
too.
yeah, I obviously you can tell that I have a beard.
Really?
Yeah, my
You
mom.
look like ZZ Top.
I know, I get that quite a bit actually.
I
But
actually have a
my
picture.
mom,
I have a picture with Billy Gibbons on my Facebook page. You have to check it out.
I'll definitely check
I'm
that
not
out.
shitting you.
That's
Go ahead. I worked
oh
as ZZ
well,
Top.
I'm also gonna Photoshop my face on his head so it looks like you were just visiting me. But
With me. Yeah, with me.
Yeah.
My little ZZ Top hat. I look crooked as hell.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead. Go ahead. Your mom and your beard.
Yeah. So my mom, she actually wants me to shave my beard.
Right.
What do you think? Do you think I should shave my beard?
No, I like it. I think it's good.
Exactly. No, I think she wants me to shave my beard because she doesn't want to like smell her pussy juices when we make out.
Oh,
Is
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. Go ahead.
that too far? Because I
No,
told her
no. Listen, what's black and blue and doesn't like to have sex?
what?
The woman in my basement.
Jesus.
Is
But no,
it, hey,
no,
a friend of
I
mine
told her
asked
we
me-
should have
a
stopped
friend
at
of mine-
second
hang on,
base.
hang on. A friend of mine asked me if there's sex after death.
Okay.
It depends on the guy that does the autopsy. I'm sorry.
That's a good one. I like
messed
that
it
one.
up. I couldn't think of the line. It's that funny little drinking and drug problem I got. So go ahead,
Oh,
keep going. Mom's
so-
vagina. I got in trouble for. Go ahead, do another one, then I'll do another really nasty one.
Okay, perfect. So I think like I don't understand why like Make-A-Wish doesn't also do wishes for healthy kids.
Okay.
You know, I mean, the memories would last longer. Like,
Absolutely. Absolutely. What's worse than going down on your grandmother?
what?
Banging your head on the lid of the casket when you're coming up. There you go.
Yeah, that would be painful and not it'd be embarrassing.
I have another grandma vagina joke, but I don't do that one anymore. My brother doesn't talk to me anymore.
Oh.
He thinks I actually did it.
Oh.
Grandma's been dead. Grandma's been dead for years.
Yeah, that's the risk because some people actually will come up to me after a set and they're like, "Is that no? It's a joke." I'm just.
Is that true? Your mom?
Yeah, I don't like no.
Mom, come on, let's go. That's funny.
But
that's funny. Keep going. I'll try and match you. I can go for a while. I got a few.
Yeah, sweet. So I just bought a new sex toy.
Did you?
And yeah, my girlfriend, she doesn't like it though.
No.
When I call her that.
Keep going.
No, I did get a sex toy though. I named her Awesome, But what's that say about me, Oh, it means I'm fucking awesome.
You are fucking awesome. You're great. You're great,
thank you,
man. Keep them coming.
Yeah, well, I'm
going to come up for air. It's your comedy minute. Yeah, you're in charge.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize this was the comedy
minute.
Well,
no. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. We got time.
Sweet.
You go as long as you want to go, buddy. It's your call.
Perfect. Well, I'll do a couple clean ones for you then.
Nah. No, go ahead. Do it. I'm just kidding.
So my mom, she actually once broke her back while training horses.
Right.
But that's not who she is today, though. That's just her backstory. It's a dumb one. I like it, but
no, keep going.
I'm also sick of people I'm sick of not understanding how to use contractions properly. Right. Or is anybody else sick of not understanding how to use contractions properly? I messed up my own joke.
It's all right.
I had to reset that one up, but
that's okay.
Otherwise, have you ever sat down to poop and then you realize that you don't?
Right now. I got to poop right now, as a matter of fact. I may have actually fudged my shorts while we're talking.
That happens.
Yeah, that happens. Who knows? We'll clean her up afterwards. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't have known unless he said it.
Yeah, well, it's all right, but I smell. Go ahead. So you sit down to poop.
So have you ever sat down to poop and then you realize that you don't have any toilet paper?
Yeah.
So you got to do that whole squawk walk thing to go get it.
Right.
In the toilet paper aisle.
Oh my God.
It's embarrassing, really.
Did you ever notice that when you poop corn out, it looks exactly like when you ate it?
Yeah, I have noticed.
It does taste a little different. Sorry.
I would imagine it tastes a little shittier.
Give her a whirl. See what you think.
But
all right, your turn. I'm throwing them in every now and again. I'm trying to keep up with you.
Okay, well, I
You're
got a
the young
joke.
guy, man. I'm the old codger. I pretend I'm President Biden.
All right, well, I got a joke for you. My face is a joke.
Nah.
Yeah, no, I'll let you sit on that one for a bit. Yes. Uh,
Okay. I think I can twist that one. I'd like to
oh
twist
yeah,
that one around.
oh yeah. I use that. I twist it around. It usually like if I get like somebody react to it, I usually just twist it on them. Especially like if it's a
Oh
comedian I
no,
know.
I'm talking about a female.
Oh well, for sure. I usually like will tweak it different ways throughout, depending
Yeah,
on the
I
show.
that would. Although nowadays, man, me too. No way.
It it could get you in trouble sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't do it every show, but I use it every now and then to
Are
see if
you finding uh that you do now again, like when you were in LA, you did mention your worst show where you were doing the clean stuff. Do you adjust your set at different places you play there in Minnesota?
yes, yeah, I'll adjust it just depending. There's actually quite a few factors it all depends on. It depends on the location, like where we're actually
Right,
performing. Before the show, I'll kind of get a got like kind of see what who the audience is, maybe get an idea of what might work, what might not work.
right,
I always listen to other comedians before me if possible. Or if I'm like the host, I like to throw everything out there if I'm the host. That
right.
way the people following me knows what like they know what works, what doesn't work. And I think one-liners are really good for that because
Sure.
I don't have like a flow to mine. I just go boom, 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 one after the other
Right.
and let them know what works, what doesn't work. And I actually have I got this little thing right here. It's got all my jokes on it. And
Okay.
I always have a set up there with me. And then but they're like grouped together in jokes that like are very similar. So then I'll like if this joke doesn't work at the top, we're gonna skip that section because that
Okay.
one doesn't work. The rest of them aren't gonna work. So
Wow. That's really cool. I
yeah.
now let me tell you the difference between you and I. I have a stack of paper.
Okay.
I
Yep.
have a stack of paper, about 4.5 years worth of me scribbling stuff out.
Oh yeah, that's how I started. And then I just, I was like, you know what? I had so much paper. I'm just gonna throw it on. I got every single joke on a PowerPoint, in Excel, or a Word document, or
That's
all three,
believe it or
depending.
not, that's what Pirate Stew has. The guy that's been doing it for like 7 years.
Yeah,
He has them all on PowerPoint.
that's
You guys are
brilliant.
way too organized for me.
Oh, I'm super OCD when it comes to that stuff.
Really?
I need to make it's got to be exactly, and I have it like word for word on PowerPoint, and then I'll transfer it to an Excel where it's just got my the joke title or whatever, and it literally has like how long the joke is. I have joke seconds, how long each joke is. So
Wow.
I'm yeah, it's
I actually have ADHD and OCD.
yeah.
Everything's got to be perfect, but only for a bit.
Oh,
Just for,
nice.
just for a second.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, hit me with another
Yeah.
one. Hit
Yeah.
clean or
So,
dirty?
well, I actually have dyslexia a little bit.
Do you?
Yeah, I think I get it from my and ad.
um, obviously, because I'm looking here, we're going to run out of time shortly. But I wanted to make sure. Obviously, with TikTok, you're doing that. I saw your
Yep.
Instagram. I followed you on Instagram.
Yep. I
Um,
just followed you back.
okay, don't do that. Don't do that. No one asked you to do that. Don't do that. I'm kidding you. I'm kidding you. I appreciate it. Um,
hmm
does your podcast, and I'm guessing you have, obviously I know Facebook. Do you have a YouTube channel or for your podcast, or is that Spotify, or how does that work?
Yeah, our podcast, the Stupidest Podcast, is wherever you like stream any kind of podcast. We're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we have
Okay.
iHeartRadio, we have iTunes,
Oh,
we
cool.
have everything.
Is it video?
Or
Is it, and pardon my ignorance because I haven't seen any of them, and I will subscribe to your YouTube channel. Is it
yeah,
video too?
it is not video right now. We are
Okay.
eventually going to try to get to video. It's just logistically. So we're actually about 2.5 hours away from each
All right.
other.
All right. Okay.
And so we have to do it all through audio.
Yeah.
But Yeah, we would eventually like to get to video,
Yeah.
but everything is actually on our website as well. Just
Okay.
www.thestupidestpodcast.com.
Okay.
You can even watch
Well,
the episodes right online.
Justin, I will, and I'll be serious. I know we've been goofing, and I'm a goof. I'm an idiot. But I will when this airs, and it's going to be a few weeks because I'm backed up. I have so many people
Okay.
coming on. But I will put all the links to the, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, your website for your podcast. And it's great to see somebody that's so driven. And I tell people this all the time that really, because I worked in music business before. I mentioned ZZ Top,
Yep.
and I've been with a lot of big stars and stuff. And lots of times over the years, I worked for RCA. Well, my daughter can really sing, or I can really sing. And what does it take to be a rock star? It's real simple: drive and desire. If you have drive and desire, you can make it. But
Okay.
you can't lose either one. You can't, if you lose the drive or you lose the desire, you're fucked.
Okay. Yeah,
no. I'm just saying, and I don't know that it applies to comedy, but it's just, I really love how driven you are. Since you got beat up a little bit that first time, and you're back, and it seems like you're really driven now. Going to
yep.
LA, do you plan on going to other places?
Yeah, I eventually want to go to other places.
Okay.
Go travel all over the country and go do
Okay.
stand up. And I think it would be amazing to eventually be able to do this for a living.
Yeah, well,
That's the
I'll
goal.
do anything I can to help you. I think you're really funny, and it's like anything. The more you do it, in other words, when I started, and I keep them all up. They're all on YouTube. From 4.5 years ago to now. My first one was like, I'm holding this phone, and it's just terrible, terrible. But I keep it up there to remind me of how far I've come, and
Yep.
even doing like these Zoom things. This was something that I wanted to do a few years ago. And I finally, figured out how to do it. And, because I'm like you, I like the podcast, but I want video. I wanted video because I just think it's important,
Yes. Yep.
you know. But well, look, I want to make sure we cover everything. We mentioned does the one-liner show still keep going on? Is that still happening?
So that was a little while ago where you would like to eventually have stuff like that
But
come up
you have a
again.
show that you do, what you want, just meant, I guess I'll shut the
Yeah.
hell up. Mention anything you want to mention, and then we'll get to your comedy minute.
Yeah, we usually have a bunch of random shows. We do a lot of like the one-liner shows. We do roast battles. We
Right.
do what we call the one-liner wipeout up here,
Yeah.
where we
I
actually
thought,
use all. Yeah, yeah, we use all
well,
of
then why
my
the hell did you
jokes.
correct me? God damn it! I thought I was right,
Well,
and you got to
it what
correct me.
so it's a
Don't
little
piss
different
me
though.
off. I'll get my temper gets flaring like a pack of hemorrhoids. I'll come down there and wrap your head in with a ratchet.
So it's a little different than a one-liner contest though. So the
Oh,
one-liner wipeout
hang on,
is
hang
it.
on.
Yeah, I.
This guy pissing me off. Hang on, that's the end of the recording. Forget your comedy minute. I'm done with you. I'm done. Next. Who's up next? Bring him on. No, go ahead, my friend.
The one-liner wipeout is what we do where I
No, the
have all the
one-liner
jokes.
wipeout. It's not the one-liner contest.
We use all of the jokes that I don't feel comfortable with using on stage yet because they're just not they're not stage ready for me
Right.
yet. And so I use those jokes, and we have three comedians guess my punchline to those, or come up with better
Come up with
punchlines
a
or
new one.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have a contest, and then the winners of three of those shows advance to like the finals.
That's cool.
So
That's like the
yeah,
kid. That's why, believe it or not, that's why I told that about the kid last night, who I've known for years now, that wrote about the boomerang that they knew you wouldn't come back. I thought that was
yeah,
just great. I've actually had that happen a few times over the years now.
yeah.
If somebody will write a better punchline than I put up. Well, look, we got to. I'll edit that out, and I appreciate it, but we better get to your comedy minute because I don't want to run out. Okay, you're out again.
Okay, yep, we're back. I got
Okay.
my audio back. I can hear you.
Do you
Sorry
want me
about that.
to? Do you want me to say Justin, Roddy, Rademacher?
Yeah, yep, that's perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, Justin. You know what time it is. Your comedy minute, Justin, Roddy, Rademacher. Go ahead, my friend.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you the story on how I feel comfortable on stage telling my naughty Roddy jokes.
Okay.
Because I was very nervous at first. I was starting to question if I should do it because my grandma and my mom, I was a little worried if they were to
Right.
hear any of my jokes, how they would feel.
Right.
So I asked my grandma how she would feel if I said a joke, and she's like, "Well, would it make you feel better if I told you a dirty joke?" And I'm like, "Yes, grandma, that would be amazing. Like, please
Right.
tell me a dirty joke." And so we were just sitting there in the restaurant we were at, and she's like, "Well, you see, I was giving this chicken a blowjob the other day, and yeah, I can still feel the tickle in my throat." And she threw a ripped up napkin, and it was the like it's supposed to be the feathers of the bird. I'm like, "Oh my God, grandma, I can say anything now." Like there was an
Yeah.
amazing moment for me. And I was just like, you know what? I feel comfortable saying anything. And as long as you're cool with it, I'm cool with saying anything. And now obviously you heard the joke about my mom. So that's
Yeah.
yeah. So
Wow. Is that
yeah,
in pardon my ignorance, is that a true story?
that is a true story. Yes.
That's wild as hell.
Yeah, I was literally sitting my grandma down to let her know, like, hey, I'm thinking about getting into comedy, but I'm gonna have jokes that you're probably not gonna like. And she's like,
It's
oh, well, here you go. Like, I'll like all of them. And so I literally will call my grandma and tell her these jokes sometimes, and she'll laugh at them or not laugh at them, depending on if she
do you
thinks
have
it's funny.
another do you have another favorite grandma joke?
But I don't have like a one specifically for my grandma,
Well, no,
unfortunately. I
just
need
do,
to.
do one more, and I'll try and I'll see if we can. We'll throw it into the Year Comedy Minute as a little special.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, actually, a lot of people don't know this, but jokes are actually kind of like babies.
Okay.
Yeah, if you don't deliver it properly, it's probably gonna die.
Yeah.
Um, but I see that some of you guys don't like that joke, so I'm gonna abort. My name is Justin Rodham.
You're gonna abort. Oh my God, you're a mess. Well, look, my friend, I hope you had fun.
Oh yeah, this was a blast. Thank you
Oh,
very much
cool,
for
cool,
having me
very
on.
cool. Let me stop the recording. I thank you so much for being here, and I really appreciate it. And let's make a pact. We'll catch back up in 6 months or so. I'll have you back on the show if you're into it, and we'll see how you and Grandma and everybody's doing.
Awesome. I would love that. Thank you so much.
Okay, hang tight for a second. I'm gonna stop the recording.
Perfect.